I've spent 30 years on the practice tee watching people use their body parts wrong. I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on what each body part's job is, and I promise you'll hit the best shots of your life. Frankly, I haven't seen much online about this at all. There's just 3 areas that we'll cover. We're going to cover what your hands' job in the swing is, what your arms and elbows' job in the swing is, and then what your body's job in the golf swing is too. Stay with me to the end. I think each area is very important, and I think you'll learn a lot from this video. I'm going to start at the beginning of what your hands' job in the golf swing is. And your hands only have 2 jobs. They are to hold on to the club. It sounds pretty basic, but they're to hold on to the club. And then our hands' job is to make the club head work up and down. They are responsible for making the club work up and down. Therefore, they need to hinge. The amount of hinge that you get depends on how you hold the club. The stronger your grip is, the more wrist hinge you'll get. And the weaker your hand is on the club, the less you're able to hinge. But regardless of how you hold the club, your hands are responsible for making the club head work up and down. So I work with a lot of new players and high handicap players that top the ball a lot. And frankly, it's because they're not using their body correctly. Their hands are working this way instead of this way. And because of that, they're not working the club up and down enough, and therefore having trouble with the tops. And so if that's you, learning how to use your hands correctly is the most important thing. And I like just setting up and holding on to the club and then just letting your hands make the club work up and down just like this. And that is our hands' job in the swing, is to hinge. And so if from a basic point of view, if you're not doing that correctly, that's the first thing you should work on, that body part, your wrist hinge, and learning how to hinge the club correctly. If the club's square at address and I hinge up and down, that club is going to stay square throughout my swing if I use my hands correctly. And so that's my hands' job, is to work up and down. My arms' job is to swing the club. So that's where we generate club speed, is with our arms. Most of the speed that most people generate is with their arms, and then the added speed is when our hands unhinge on the downswing. So the combination of arm speed and the unhinging of our hands really gives you the most club head speed. Can you gain additional speed by using your body correctly? You can, but most people are so inefficient with their arms and their wrist that that's the primary thing to do, is to learn how to use those correctly. So once again, our hands' job is to hinge the club up. So when I turn on my backswing, my hands hinge the club over my back shoulder, and you should be in a pretty good position. The second body part to worry about is your arms. And the best drill that I've found for how your arms should work in the golf swing is to make a baseball level swing where you hold the club out parallel to the ground. And as you swing this club, if you keep it parallel to the ground, your wrist will hinge correctly. This lead arm will stay pretty straight, and this trail arm, my right arm, will fold. And then as I swing forward and I keep it level to the ground, my hands will re-hinge correctly. This arm gets pretty straight, again on the finish, and this forward arm will fold and stay close to me. As I blend that down to the ground, you'll see that my hands hinge and this right arm of mine folds, my trail arm, And then you'll see on the follow through, my trail arm will be pretty straight and this arm will fold and stay close too. I see many players where their elbows and their arms work like this during the swing, and that's really a big mistake, and it really inhibits how much club head speed you'll end up having. So a great drill to learn to feel how your arms and your wrist hinge in the swing is to do this baseball level swing around you, and you will feel how your elbows should work correctly. So it's very important to learn to use our hands and our elbows correctly in the swing. And that's the first place, if you look at yourself on video and you see this lead arm out in a chicken wing position on the way through, well, that should be a light bulb go off in your head that you're not using your arms and hands correctly during the swing. And if you'll learn to do that correctly, it will greatly enhance your ball striking and your consistency. And I even like making very easy swings where I'm using my arms and hands correctly with my feet together and just making contact with the ball with an easy swing like that will help you out a lot. And so a very good drill for you to learn how to use your arms and hands correctly is to start off here to where it's parallel to the ground with your feet together, and then you can take some practice swings and just try to feel the same motion with your feet pretty close together, and then just hit some shots at a little half a swing speed, and just hit nice little shots. It should be easy to hit draws that way. And so I'm a big fan of feeling this swing around where my right arm folds and then my left arm folds and my hands. That's what releases the club, by the way, is when my lead arm moves forward and it folds, that is what gives me the rotation automatically to let the club release and to turn over. And so if my arm's going this way, I get no rotation in my arms. The hands do not release the club. All they do is hinge and unhinge. So once I'm at the top of my backswing, I'm just trying to fold my arms correctly, my lead arm on the follow through, and that'll flip my hands over naturally. And if you'll just feel that with a real little swing again, we can just make those little nice little swings, feel those arms fold, and you'll hit nice little bullet shots that'll go straight as an arrow. So try that drill, it'll really help you. The final area to talk about is what is our body's job in the swing? Well, if our hand's job is to make the club go up and down, we need something in the swing to make the club go around. And that's what our body's job in the swing really is to make the club swing around us in a circle. The drill I like for people to do on that is to take their grip down the shaft of the club to where your arms are just comfortably extended. And if you keep the shaft parallel to the ground on your way back and your way through, you will feel exactly how your body should feel in the golf swing. So again, our hands' job is to make it go up and down, but it's our body's job to make this club swing around in a circle around us. And if I can blend that together with a body turn and with a hand hinge, I should have a pretty good golf swing. And so keep that in mind. A big part of our body is our legs, and I'll probably get a lot of comments on this, but for the average player, I feel that the main purpose of your legs is to catch your balance, not to provide power. At the elite level, do the elite players that you see on television, supply a great deal of power and club head speed with their legs? The answer is yes, they do, but they're already doing everything else correctly. And so I find that the average player would be much better learning to keep their balance on their back leg on the backswing and catching their balance on their forward leg on their forward swing. And if you'll think in terms that your leg's job is to keep your balance, back foot back, front foot through, I think it'll really help you. I find these days with so much online about using the ground and using your hips to generate speed, I find that most players have a club back here and their body just runs out away from them, and they're not swinging the golf club, they're using their body, and it's a mistake. Learn to use your arms and hands first. Learn to catch your balance with your legs, and I promise you'll be a lot more successful. One of the great drills I like for that is to pick up this foot, pick up that foot, pick up this foot, pick up that foot. Learn to keep your balance on your correct legs on your swing, and a simple drill like that can help you a lot. And so get your balance. I like the feet to be to where your hip sockets are in between your feet. That way you can catch your balance on your back leg and stay inside your foot, and you can catch your balance on your lead leg and keep your balance inside your foot as well. So width of stance is really important. But if you learn to catch your balance and learn to be smooth with your body as it turns, it'll really help you. The last part really of your body is your spine angle is really important. And at address, when I get the correct distance away from the ball and I sole the club flat and this points at my belt buckle, when I bend over to take my stance, I should establish a spine angle in my back that is natural for me. And once I establish that spine angle, we should try to keep that spine angle the same as we're swinging. So another great drill that I like, I learned it from David Ledbetter 35 years ago probably, is just to get in your golf posture and fold your arms across your shoulders like this and learn to pivot to where you're keeping your spine angle on the backswing and you're keeping your spine angle on the through swing. There's a lot of talk about early extension in the swing when the rear end goes like this. Well, basically what that is changing your spine angle. And if you'll just practice in a mirror at home, learning to keep your spine angle on the way back and through, that'll help you a lot. The body is talked about too much in golf instruction, in my opinion, and not enough about arms and hands. But my body doesn't have to do very much. This lead shoulder only moves to here. And so I'm not moving very far. My body is not moving very far as I turn back and through. And so the club head's got to go 100 miles an hour, but boy, our body probably only has to go about 20 miles an hour to keep everything in the correct sequence. So keep that in mind. If you're one of those that's trying to throw your hips at the ball and really trying to turn your shoulders a lot, you're probably making a mistake, and you're probably not using your hands and your elbows correctly in the swing. So keep all this in mind. I think it'll really help you. And thanks again for watching our channel. Hey, if you like this video and you want to learn more about how to hold the club correctly, we just released a video that I think you'll like. The link's here above. Click on it. It'll show you really how to hold the club correctly and what your hand's job is as far as that goes.